Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 235, Diving In Sofa Cushions, which sounds wonderful to me. And the show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/235. So, yeah, I think a lot of people spend a lot of time on their sofa, and it's really important that it be comfortable. And there's a lot that goes into choosing those cushions and deciding which ones are the right ones for you. So, Yvonne, I know you've done a lot of research on this, so you want to get us started?
Sure, excuse me. Hey girls, I thought I knew a lot about sofas and sofa cushions. And I mean, I know the basics, but oh my goodness, there's a world of sofa cushions out there.
You just don't know what you don't know.
Well, hey, I mean, you've got to really want to research this. And here's what I want to say to everybody listening. If you are in the market to buy a sofa, do a lot of research because there is worlds of differences in different brands of sofas. And you want to have one that will hold up, that the fabric will wear properly, and the cushions will be comfortable. And in the last 5 years, I bought, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, last 6 years, I bought 6 sofas.
Oh my God.
Not all for me.
What's going on there?
I know. 2 for me and then 2 for our children. And then one actually was given to me as a prize and a few other things. So anyway, and they were all very different. And the sofa I have in my family room now is a tale of woe because I'm so unhappy with it. And I paid way too much for it. And literally and becoming and crushing into nothing. But here's the scoop. There are basically, when I say basic, there are so many hybrids of this type, but I'm going to go through the 3 types of cushions. And we're talking about seat cushions, first of all, on your sofa.
And a lot of times Europeans refer to pillows as cushions.
Right, as cushions.
So if you're listening from the UK, we're actually talking about the seat cushions where you sit.
Right, exactly. So the first type is the all foam, and that's a high density foam core with soft layers of convoluted foam, which is that egg crate stuff usually, that then it is wrapped in a polyester fiber wrap and then sewn into a downproof sack. And downproof sack is just a fabric that is tightly woven. So if you have down in it, the down little, the pins
the feathers,
of the down,
the feathers. I think
right,
the feathers
don't
poke
come
through.
out. Mm-hmm.
Pokey proof.
This usually gives you your firmest seat. And when you think about it, think about a sofa that has no wrinkles on the fabric. This is usually your cheapest option, depending on the manufacturer. That's the big caveat, depending on the manufacturer. And this can actually last for many years, but it usually gives out in a few. Because at some point, and I want to talk about this in things to know, the density, the foam density is a specific measurement of how much weight, now listen to this, in pounds, that this foam or the polyurethane foam, because there's also different kinds of foam. You can get soy foam and other kinds, but when you're shopping your common old sofa, it's mostly polyurethane foam. So it's how many pounds can it handle per cubic foot. So the higher the number, the higher the rating, the longer the foam will last. And it should not be exclusively foam because it won't last as long. So it's so important to know. And the number is called the ILD or IFD. And that is the measurement of firmness, which tells you how hard or soft your foam is, hence how durable it may be.
So this tends to be your firmer cushions. These are your
firmer, but maybe not as long lasting.
Right. I'm not referring to longevity, but firmness. So these tend to be the firmer ones, the ones that stay in place, that pop back into place as soon as you sit up.
Right.
If you sit on your sofa and then get up and it pops back and there's no wrinkles, it's probably a foam wrapped.
It's probably
foam wrapped, with a wrapper on it.
Well, it's probably foam wrapped with this convoluted egg crate foam with a polyester wrap and put in a downproof sack. And but within that type of cushion, there are a myriad. It's just not like you're going to get the same thing. There's a myriad of qualities, from poor quality, okay qualities, pretty good quality, high quality.
I just want to throw this out there. So if you sit on a sofa and after, you're checking out sofas, you sit on a sofa, you get up and it looks wrinkled after you get up, or it looks kind of flatter, that doesn't mean it's poorly made or badly made. It's just a different type of cushion.
Yeah,
and
we're going to get
ones, right? But my point is just because it does that does not mean it's poorly made. Mm-hmm. No, I know you're getting into
No, we're going to get into the other two types.
Right.
But I just want you to understand these three basic types, because the hybrids of all of the other kinds of cushions come from these. So let's go on to our next one, and it's called Spring Down. And this is probably the three of us like this the best. It's a core of interlocking springs, just like think of an old fashioned mattress, because you always had to get the box spring, of interlocking springs. Then that is wrapped in a foam box. So literally a box of foam is made on all four sides around it to the shape of the cushion. And then it has a very thick layer, usually, of down or a down / some kind of fill, like maybe a polyester fill or a polyester fiber. And then that is wrapped again in some kind of a fiber wrap, and then put into a downproof sack. And see, it's that little bit of the core of the interlocking springs that gives it the bounce, and it keeps the shape. Because if you just put foam, and there is a hybrid of foam wrapped with the down layer, then wrapped with the polyfill layer, and then put in the downproof case. But if you get that little bit of a spring, that keeps it from losing its shape. So it's soft, but yet it keeps its shape. It does need a little fluffing, but it doesn't need a lot. And then the next one is called the down or the blend down.
Can I stop you for 1 second? You
Yes,
are on such a fabulous roll. I feel like jumping up and down on my cushions right now. The downproof sack we're talking about, that is so the little feathers don't poke through, right? So people understand there. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. And also, I think because I just happened to look at my sofa that I don't like so much, and because I love the fabric on it, and it is a slipcover sofa. So I just thought, what is inside here? And I unzipped the cushion and took it out and peeked through it. And it's not really thick. It's just a very, very closely woven, very thin fabric. So and there is not a bit of down in that cushion, but it really helps if the foam breaks down that it doesn't come out as well, or you don't get foam dust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All these three types are wrapped in this, or should be wrapped in this downproof sack. The last kind is the down or the blend down cushion, and that is a thin foam core with thick layer of polyester fiber over a layer of polyfiber blend with down. Now that's a lot more down in it than the polyfiber. I guess you can get a totally down cushion, like I just keep thinking of Downton Abbey. You would see them throw the
Downton Abbey.
Yeah,
these are obviously the most comfortable cushions, and often they are a full cushion the length of the sofa. They tend not to be, 2 or 3 per sofa. That's one long one, but they are the most comfortable. So if it wasn't so much fluffing involved,
I'm going to fight you on that one nicely, because I think that, first of all, they're horrifically expensive because down is very, very expensive. But let me just go back, and then I'm going to just put my 2 cents in. In Downton Abbey, they take the cushions off the sofa and throw them on the floor and then beat them up a little and put them back on. And they're the ones that have that loft like that it looks like they are, there's an arch to them. So they look very lofty. And when you sit in them, though, you will sink down just like a down pillow. They are comfortable, but if you don't like the feeling of having to crawl out of your sofa, and I seriously don't like that, that may not be the way to go. And you probably can't afford it. So this is why nowadays,
it is very expensive, but they're very comfortable is what I'm saying.
There's
a lot of downsides to using them, but yeah, they're very comfortable. No, I don't know anybody.
All these down puns, you guys are killing me.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that has these, but they are quite comfy is that was the point I was making.
Well, when I was a little girl and I lived in England, we actually did have one. And it was wonderful. However, anything that has more down in it is going to squish down more. That's right. Nowadays you have this thin core foam and then a layer of polyester. Then it's usually a polyester fiber and down blend, because you want that comfort of down, but you don't necessarily want to and you have to fuss with it a lot. You have to keep punching it up, throwing it on the floor, giving it a good shake. And even my sofa that I love in the living room, I have to do that to it because it has a lot of down in it, and I love the way it feels. But I do have to give it a good shake now and then. So out of those 3 types, the all foam, the spring down, and the down or blend down cushions, there are hybrids like you just can't even imagine.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
So here's what's really important. If you are the consumer and you're in the market to buy a sofa, really do your homework. And if they tell you, ask about the construction of the cushions, get it in writing, look for that number that we're talking about, that ILD or the IFD, ask for a picture of a breakdown. They should have a picture of what it looks like inside, like a slice. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it is. Read the reviews, because sitting on a sofa one or two times is not going to be a good indication of how comfortable or how long it will last.
Yeah, good points. And this whole episode stems from when we did the episode on must knows about purchasing a sofa. That's number 227. And we just had so much information at that time that we wanted to, share more info about specifically the cushion. So, like we talked about in that episode, you want to know all there is to know before you go in to buy a sofa, because you're going to get really wrapped up in the fabric and the style. And
wrapped up.
Oh, that was funny. I didn't mean that one either. And, so it's going to distract you then from the real meat and potatoes, which is, how is this cushion going to feel? How long is it going to last? And what kind of maintenance is going to be required? So Yvonne in particular is giving you this oodles and oodles of great info today. And sometimes when you go into these sofa places, like she's saying, there's actually not only a picture, but sometimes they just have the cushions sliced open and kind of raw, so you can see them and see what's going on. That would be a great thing if you were in a shop that had that sort of thing, for you to really be able to tell what's going on in case you get some of the names mixed up, or, you forget your number count or things like that. That is a great visual to help you decide what is the best for you.
And you will be surprised how they look. I mean, it's very interesting to see a cushion sliced, and so you can see how it's built. Very different from a long time ago, where they used horsehair and they used down and they used all different kinds of things, because, again, the affordability of it, you'd price yourself out. Now, in my research, and I've sort of known this, anything under about $2,000 is considered a cheaper sofa. And so I've had ones way over that and ones a lot less than that. And let me tell you, my more expensive sofa, I talk about the two 18th century sofas that I had in my home for 28 years because they were so well and they were so expensive, I couldn't justify replacing them. And about 7 or 8 years after I'd had them, and they say that's about the normal anyway, that people want to replace, or you should replace a sofa that's not a very expensive one, because they begin to wear out. And I just wanted to get rid of it, but they were a pair, but I couldn't because they were just too expensive. I felt like I was throwing money out the window. But I may have really changed my mind after doing the research for this podcast. It is important. And after having a dud of one, especially in my family room, and the thought of replacing it, it's not 4 years old. And it's just really not holding up. So because of that, I'm really thinking, wow, maybe the way to go is to get a much better sofa. And I know it's horrific to have it reupholstered, but maybe have it re-slip covered when that time comes that I get tired.
Yeah, and maybe you replace the cushions. I mean, if you love the frame, the shape of the frame, yeah, you're right. I mean, slip covering or reupholstering a sofa is about the same price as buying a new sofa. But that's another thing that could be done if your cushions have lost their mojo, but you love everything else about it. You can just have the cushion inside redone, and you can go to about any good upholsterer and they would be able to, just give them your cushions with the covers on, and they'll be able to replace those for you with whatever style cushion that you want. No matter what was in there previously, you can have it done the way that you want.
Let's say you buy a $5,000 sofa. And I know don't run off the road when I say this. Some of you are, don't lose your dog when you're walking it. But boy, I've really changed my mind about this. Although I don't want to keep it for maybe 15 years, I could probably get it slip covered for far less than that. Far, far less than that. I've had two sofas slip covered, and they were, depending on the material that you use, especially the labor is going to be about the same. It's the material that you choose. So maybe you could you could double the lifespan of a very good sofa by changing out the slip covering or the upholstering. Again, it's more of, it's a flat rate for the upholster that you'll get, whether you choose a cheaper or more expensive fabric. And that's the big difference in what you're going to pay. But what an eye opener. And I just really thought I knew a lot about sofas, but hey, don't be too wise in your own eyes. I think that's a proverb.
Ooh, wise in your eyes. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Don't be too wise.
I like that one.
Yeah. That's from the book of Proverbs. And just thinking that you just don't think that you know everything. Just make sure that, like me, that the next time that you're going to buy a sofa, you are going to do major homework.
Or sit in your sofa. I mean, if you can sit in it when you're trying it out, that's worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah. But even if you sit in it, it has to feel good to you. And a lot of the times, because other people have sat in a sofa, it's somewhat broken into how it's going to feel normally. But make sure you sit in it, lay in it, take the cushions off, change them around, see how they feel. Know your numbers, know what's inside of it. And don't buy it without a guarantee. That's the other thing. I bought a sofa that had no guarantee because of the name. Very big mistake. So,
now, what kind of guarantee can you expect to get on a sofa?
Well, it highly varies. Some place you don't get guarantees, and some place you do get a guarantee. So you have to really check that out for yourself. Although the sofa I love the fabric. I love the frame. The frame is holding up wonderfully. So maybe I shouldn't diss it too much, but I am going to have the cushions totally redone.
Well, and you have to be careful about that, because even if they'll do returns, if you bought it online, I don't know, you better be sure you understand the policy on return, because you may have to ship it back, which may be $200. I don't know.
You are so right about that.
Just be sure you know. Just buyer beware before you buy.
And that's such a good point, because I'm returning a coffee table. And the idea of having to pack that coffee table up, I'm just going to give it to one of my kids. It's not worth my trouble.
No, it's not. Most of those aren't.
But can you imagine a sofa? Like, if you can return it, absolutely know the return policy. It's so important.
Yeah. Well, when I was in law school, that was one of our favorite Latin phrases. I don't know. It was just like we would joke around when we were like delirious from studying, but caveat emptor, that's buyer beware.
Beware.
Right? So yes. So caveat emptor all the time, especially in big ticket prices, items, which have high prices. And, we're talking about sofa cushions, but this extends to obviously chair cushions, all kinds of cushions. So, it isn't just for your sofa. You want to consider this for anything that you're having upholstered, whether you're buying it new and it's upholstered, or you're buying something at a thrift store or vintage and you want to have it reupholstered. These are things that you want to talk to also the person doing the upholstery for you, because they will have these same options.
And talking along that same line, Kelly, I just bought another chair for my family room because of my foot. I had gotten a recliner that looks like a chair. I was so specific that I wanted this. And if you go online, you can see my family room. You can see that chair. It has a big herringbone pattern on it. And I wore that thing to death. That thing didn't owe me a penny. It held up so well. But it was time for it to go, because I just used it so much. So we bought a new one from the same company, and it came with so many guarantees. Very expensive. It was way more than I wanted to pay, but the guarantee alone made it worth it.
Ah.
And I would just transfer that right to a sofa. I'm not going to buy one. Never will I buy one again. Well, they say never, but I hope I don't ever buy one again that has no guarantee, and that I'm not totally in the know about every part of construction of the sofa.
Right. And, again, you need to read the guarantee. I mean, just when it says, oh, and it's a money back guarantee, but then you read the fine print and it's, only a money back guarantee
on a Monday if a hurricane's coming
right,
through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if it never shows up or something like that. It's not oftentimes a guarantee or a warranty on any, certainly any decor item, it's few and far between anyway, but certainly it most oftentimes may not apply to the selections that you had the opportunity to make and deliberate upon before you made the choice. So you can't really say, oh, well, I picked the cheaper cushion, but now I don't like it. So really, do your homework. Listening to this podcast, you're doing a lot of homework on learning how to choose the best cushion for you. And then if you are lucky enough to be working with a company that has a guarantee or warranty, read that, take the extra 10, 15 minutes, look it over and make sure you know what it covers. Because that might save you a lot of headache and a lot of money at the end of the day. If, somehow along the line you did make a choice that they're not 100% happy with.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And the deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
And here's another thing. There are so many earth-friendly, sustainable products used in sofas now, because I was reading articles about, and I just can't quote, the number has flown out of my head, how many sofas sit in landfills and for how many years because of the man-made products, so that they don't decompose.
Take a while with the wood frame
as well. But they were saying,
and the springs in some of them.
Yes.
Oh, I know, to think of that. But anyway, neither here nor there.
Well, that was one of the things that prompted me to transform my red DNA couch into an outdoor couch for my patio, which was a little crazy, but really worked out well. I mean, that was a big project, but part of it was, not only did it fit perfectly on my bricked patio at the time, but I thought, what's going to happen to this thing? I got to pay to drag it out of here. And then it's just going to sit and rot somebody somewhere. Nobody's going to want this DNA couch. And so I just pulled it all apart and, used the frame and then
so when
had
she
cushions
says
made for it.
DNA couch, she means that I guess her kids were on it and they spit up a lot. I don't know. We're just going to leave it there.
Yeah, there was a lot of, there was a lot of.
There were little kids. Yeah.
There were little kids. There was a lot of little kid on there. Yeah, yeah.
They left their mark.
Here's the other thing that I was just so impressed. If you can find cushions that are 100% natural latex with the spring core wrapped in that 50-50 blend that we talked about of polyfill or down and feathers even, they say that that's the finest construction cushion available. And unless you're allergic to latex, but they said that also that will decompose a lot easier. And I thought that was really worth looking into. Here's the bottom line: be informed. Just like we tell you with every single thing that you purchase, be an informed consumer. And when it comes to sofas, don't buy the cheapest sofa, but buy the best sofa that your budget can afford with all the info that you've gathered.
Wow. Yeah. And you might have to listen to this one twice and then go back and listen to Must Know Sofa at number 227 and then put those together.
Yeah. Save this. So when you're in the market, you may not be now, but someday you probably will be. Make sure that you listen to this because it will save you so many headaches. In life. And of all the things, your bed should be very comfortable. I would say your sofa's got to be almost as comfortable as your bed.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Well, Kevin really wants it to be because that's where he naps, right?
That's right.
It is his bed.
Thanks so much for being with us today. Remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey, everybody. We want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.